African Nations Championship. Popularly known as the CHAN, the competition is for footballers who play in their own domestic leagues across Africa. 16 teams will be taking part in 4 groups of 4, with matches being played in Marrakesh, Tangier, Agadir and Casablanca. Now, holders and 2-time champions DR Congo are notable by their absence. They failed to qualify. But as the BBC's Nick Cavell told me earlier from Tangier, Morocco are keen to impress both on and off the pitch.
I think they'll be trying to impress with their organisation skills, mainly because they want to bid to host the 2026 World Cup. And with a joint bid coming in from Canada, USA and Mexico, they're going to have to go some in order to be able to compete with those 3 nations with the infrastructure and stadiums that they have. But also I think that they also are looking to host the African Nations Cup soon, because we know that it was taken away from them in 2015, and I think that still hurts them a little bit, and I think they would like to host it at some point in the future. I think they're here to show CAF that they're ready to host it if any of the future hosts pull out at the last minute or are deemed unprepared and not ready to host it. On the pitch, I think 1 or 2 of the players in this squad will be pushing for World Cup places. There's a young man, 23-year-old Ashraf Ben Sharki, plays for Wydad Casablanca, and I think he will be hoping to impress at this tournament and hopefully get a place on the plane to Russia for the World Cup. And I think there's 1 or 2 others in this squad that may be hoping that they could do the same as well.
And Nick suggested that while Morocco, home to the reigning African club champions Wydad Casablanca, may be favourites, many neutrals might be hoping for a strong display from Cameroon, whose coach Rigobert Song, a legend of African football, has rebounded from serious illness to lead his country.
I think it's an incredible story. In 2016, we all saw how ill he was in bed in a hospital with a brain aneurysm. Indeed, some people on social media said he'd even passed away. He has come back. He's now coach of that team. So he'll not only inspire the team to greater and bigger things, he's also got that knowledge of playing in big tournaments, hasn't he, all across Europe, as well as in 3 World Cups. So it'd be a great boost for him if he could come back from that near-death experience and lead his team to victory.
Now, on the subject of Cameroon, an inspection of Cameroon's preparations for the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations by the Confederation of African Football has finally begun, after an initial visit scheduled for last August was postponed. The CAF team, who are represented by an independent business management consultancy, started their 10-day inspection in the capital, Yaoundé. And while the refurbished Omnisports Stadium is looking in decent shape, the second stadium in Yaoundé, the Paul Biya Stadium, has plenty of work to go. There are just 18 months before the competition begins. CAF first expressed concerns over the state of preparations some 6 months ago. Basketball, and the Boston Celtics extended their current winning streak to 7 games after beating the Philadelphia 76ers by 114 points to 103 in Thursday's annual NBA game in London. Kyrie Irving had 20 points and 7 assists, even if he was blocked by Cameroon's Joel Embiid early on, with the 76ers star scoring some 16 points himself. But despite trailing by 22 points in the second quarter, the Celtics dominated in the third quarter, and they eventually ran out comfortable winners. Afterwards, the Celtics were asked how they kept Embiid so relatively quiet.
Just trying to make him uncomfortable, you know, like it's hard to guard him by yourself, you know.
So I don't know how long we got.
Just using the team, our team defense mindset is just to be there, be in help, be long, and make it hard for him, make him get tough looks. And Baines, Al, and Tice, man, they did a great job. They do a great job every time they guard him.
I couldn't get going, Dyer didn't get going, so at the end of the third quarter, we just play one-on-one instead of staying true to ourselves and us moving the ball.
Golf, finally, and 2 Europeans, Adrien Sadier of France and Britain Chris Paisley, hold the lead at the South African Open after the second round. Sadier is yet to drop a shot after 36 holes at the Glendora course in Johannesburg. He's 13 under. Home favourite Brandon Grace, the overnight leader, dropped 5 shots off the pace today. And Kem, that's the sport.
Piers, have you ever had Cameroonian food?
I have not had Cameroonian food.
Okay, if you try ndolé and manioc, and if the Cameroonian officials give that